Hey, Big View crew, welcome to another educational session. Let your clients see you, be you with Big View. We are here. Listen, let me ask you a question. Does showing up on screen freak you out a little bit? Do you see people on IG and LI and FB with all of these things and the TikToks doing all the videos and making all the coins? And you're like, OMG, that could be me. Well, guess what, people? Today we're going to show you how to fly with video and AI. But before we get to our guest expert today, in case you forgot, I'm your host for this episode, Robert Kennedy III, RK3. That's me. I'm the president for Kinetic Communications, a training company here in Laurel, Maryland, where we work with business owners, real estate pros who want to communicate more confidently, both in person and on video, so that they can improve client connection and increase sales. And you can join me in the story speaking and sales community to learn how to speak up and sell more. Now you know about me. Who are you? Who's in the space? I see teacher opportunities. Who else is in the space? Do me a favor, just type your name and where you're logging in from so I can give you a quick shout out. Let's see who's in the space. We got teacher opportunities. We've got Johnny. I'm making up names. I was going to say Erica and Brittany. I'm just kind of stalling so that people could get a moment to write their names in. But listen, while you're doing that, this session is going to be awesome and value-packed, and we'll take your questions. But if you've got a question, do me a favor, type the letter Q and then your question so it's easy for us to separate the rest, your questions from the rest of the comments, and then we'll get to that during the show. All right. We also have a giveaway today. So if you are locked in for the entirety of this episode, we're going to share some information with you so that you can get some grand follow-up and some knowledge from our superstar guest for today. All right, they're coming in now. What's going on? Jerry Trimble from Vancouver, BC. We got Christiana from Charlotte. Oh, yeah. Dave. All right, or Boatswain from Dave. I don't know. That's Dave. Yeah. Jamila from Atlantic City. Gail from Jersey. Hey, Henry from Brand to Table. How you doing? Diana from Vegas. Yeah. Michelle from Atlanta. Karen from Pittsburgh. John from Ann Arbor, Michigan. Hey, John, I just got back from Detroit, my friend. So, yeah, good stuff. So I'm glad that you all are here. It's going to be a fantastic day. Let's jump on in so that you can have all of the time with our guest expert for today. Our guest expert is Kofi Annan. No, not the United Nations Kofi Annan. This one is an AI rock star and is the founder of Anansi. That's like a Jamaican story. Yeah, we'll talk about that in a little bit. A leading marketing consultancy and the Brand Sensei, where he specializes in helping businesses develop strong, authentic brands that resonate with their target audiences. He helps them to build brand narratives, leveraging the power of AI and video content. Kofi desires that brands connect meaningfully with their consumers so that they can drive growth and long-term success. Buckle up, get ready for the ride, Big View crew. Kofi, welcome to the stage, my friend. How you doing today?
Hello. Thank you, Robert. Thanks for that wonderful introduction. I'm very happy that I'm here and really excited to kind of have this conversation. And I see a lot of people have logged in. Glad to see people from all over the place.
Love it. Yes, we've got some people from. I don't. Do we have any Texas people? You're in Texas. I'm looking to see if we've
Yes,
got
I'm in
any
Texas.
Texas in the house. We've got Vegas.
Anyway,
We've got Florida. We've got quite a few other places, but we
I
don't
see New
have
Jersey,
Texas
so
because
I used to live in New
yeah.
Jersey, so go Jersey.
Okay. Okay. I think it's a little bit cold in Texas. That's why people are like, oh, let me
Oh,
not type. I just need to keep my hands rubbing together.
indeed.
Good, man. Well, listen, we're going to be chatting today about AI and video, two of my favorite topics. And before we jump in, you've got a giveaway that we're going to be talking about that you're going to be sharing with folk after. Tell them what the giveaway is, and then we'll talk about later on how to access that.
Yeah, so today we're going to walk through how to spark your brand with AI video, and as
Yeah.
we walk through it, I'll be giving some examples of AI prompts that you could use in specific ways to get the best results from AI, and then also move you quicker through the process. So as I walk through that, at the end, I'm gonna share going to share a link where everyone could kind of go and get and download those creative AI prompts to really
Yeah.
really using AI video to the best of its ability. So that'll come at the end. You'll see some of it come through in the presentation, but happy to share it and have folks use that.
Love it. Love it. I hope everybody's excited because we've got a dynamic expert on the show. And we are in an age right now where I think every other word you hear is AI. If you're not hearing it, I don't know where you are. I don't know what industry you're in. Maybe you just collect snow. I don't know what you do. If you're not hearing AI, I don't know where you are because it's in the news. We've heard about everybody's heard Chat GPT, but recently we've heard about DeepSeek that is coming in. And then recently Elon Musk was like, you know what? I'm gonna get in the game too, and let's go with this Grok thing right here. So I don't know what your favorite AI is, but let me start this with this. Kofi, what is your favorite or most used AI tool these days?
That's the question of the day, right? Like most early adopters and tinkerers, I toggle between a few. So I have been spending a lot of time in DeepSeek. Particularly, like I actually have two browsers windows open. You know, one with DeepSeek on one side, the other one with Claude. So I'm constantly
Yeah,
toggling back and forth to make sure that I'm getting the best of both worlds. Because I know a lot of them, not no one AI does everything. So
yeah.
that's kind of what
Yeah. So
what I like
so
people to know.
before we jump into what people can do with AI and video, I want to address some of the concerns as well that people might have because everybody's saying AI, some people are saying AI is going to take the jobs. That's one. And then the other thing is the deep seek is from China. And so
Mhm.
people are like, "Oh my gosh, I don't know if I want to give my information because they done shut down TikTok recently for all of 24 hours and then DeepSeek might be collecting information about me too. Can you
Mhm.
allay or put any of those fears to rest? Tell me a little bit about your understanding and your thoughts around DeepSeek or technologies that are offshore, I would say.
Yeah, yeah. No, I mean it's a valid concern um, with any product, and especially like AI, where you're inputting a lot of information, and depending on how you're using it, you might be really putting a lot of private information that maybe you don't even share with others. That should always be a concern. So ethical AI should always be top of mind, and you should also always know where these products and where your data is going. So that being said, one of the big things about DeepSeek, besides kind of all the news, is that it's open source, right? And I
Mhm.
think that's really the opportunity there, where it changed the game, and it really kind of blew the doors open from a lot of the Claudes and ChatGPTs, where you're kind of paying, and ChatGPT came up with this $200 tier and X, Y, and Z. But so I think DeepSeek introduced that to the conversation, and at this point, you can use DeepSeek, just go into deepseek.com or whatever. But Perplexity, which is a huge competitor, is a huge, a great platform for research, for deep research and quick answers. Perplexity actually is incorporating DeepSeek
Yeah.
as a tool in Perplexity, but it's localized in the US, right? So it's not the same DeepSeek that you go to deepseek.com, but you actually use it through Perplexity. So I think we're going to see a lot more of those. So just keep an eye on the different kinds of AI tools and LLMs that you're using, where you're using it, and where your data is going. And I think the whole space is going to evolve and change as we go along. And we all just got to go keep watching.
Yeah, I love it. Jim, my buddy Jim Fuse is in the comments from Fusion Marketing, and he's saying DeepSeek on Mag AI is on US servers as
Yeah.
well. So I think what you're saying is that there is some DeepSeek integration that is taking place with other products that are running through US servers. So, for those of you that are on the US, I don't want to just speak about the US because I know that Big View's customers are worldwide. We've got people in Brazil, we've got people in Europe, we've got people all over the place. But for those of you that are concerned, know that some of the companies that you might be using already are integrating DeepSeek, OpenAI through their servers or through servers that they trust. So,
Yeah.
so I just wanted to put that to bed and just and address it. I didn't want to have
Yeah.
this entire session be one that had fears in it. Right?
No,
So
definitely opportunities, but you have to keep,
yeah,
but you have to know what you're using and who
yeah.
you're working with.
I love it. I love it. So we've got this idea. I'm a big believer in video. If you've ever seen any of my content, if you've been online, LinkedIn, YouTube, etc., I do video quite regularly, whether that is live streaming, whether that is recorded video or repurposed, chopped up video. But I've got a lot of stuff here. People look at me, they look at the camera, they look at the mic, they look at the stuff in the background and like, oh my gosh, I don't have Robert's setup, so I can't do any video. Why is video such a struggle for people, at least for the customers that are coming in touch that you're coming in touch with?
Yeah, I mean it's a huge problem for and I've worked with really large enterprises like Pfizer and Bayer and Puma, and I've also
Mm,
worked with smaller growing startups, right? And it's all the same concern as you said. A lot of people, especially at this stage, they know that they need to do video. That video is definitely going to move the mark from a awareness perspective, and I'll talk about in the presentation different ways that you could use video, but the key thing is, where do I start? And most people get
yeah.
overwhelmed by that and they don't know what to talk about, what kind of content to create. And then, of course, if it's a founder-led organization, or it's someone who's in the company that's representing the company, we kind of get stage fright, right? So kind of getting on camera, as you and I are used to at this point, it's not what
Yeah.
normal people, regular people do. So just most people don't go on stage at all, and certainly a lot of people don't use video. So that's usually the barrier. But I'll walk through a process during the presentation now, where you can kind of, depending on where you're starting, you could use some of the tools. You could kind of bring in your voice and then marry those two to really propel your brand message forward. And everyone's got to, you have to get in somewhere, and it doesn't have to be high production. AI helps you enter at different stages.
Ooh, that's exciting, man. So let's jump on in, and while you're getting yourself set, I'll just share with people that video is something that's driving the world today, or that is driving a lot of social media platforms. If you're on LinkedIn, I don't know if anybody's been on LinkedIn recently, but you will notice that there is a shift towards prioritizing video. So Instagram has been doing it for a while. TikTok has been doing it for a while. Facebook has been doing it for a little while. LinkedIn has always been the little stepbrother that's been the business, the platform where everybody's got to be prim and proper and dressed up. And now they're prioritizing video quite a bit. So if you have been trying to do B2B or even B2C business through LinkedIn and you're not doing video, then guess what? You're going to be left behind a little bit. So you want to make sure where you live, where you're planting your flag, where you're getting your customers from, and what they're prioritizing so that you can get in the game too. So let's talk about what your format or what your process is for making this easier for people using AI.
Yeah. So I'll walk you through kind of what I've done. So I've been in, marketing, advertising, working with brands for more than 15 years. And so video is not something new, right? But this new age of AI is really what turns this on its head and makes it that much more accessible. So I'll walk you through some of the things that I've seen work, some of the approaches that I've seen work for companies of different sizes. So we all know that AI is video specifically is the future of marketing, as you mentioned, Robert. Even LinkedIn, as some people who don't spend a lot of time on LinkedIn, they think LinkedIn is boring, and it's not as sexy as TikTok or even Instagram. But really, for those of us who spend some time there, we see the shift there with videos, particularly as they're starting to prioritize video, short form video, even, and it's really about that personalization, that interactivity, the creativity that you bring into the video, and accessibility. Video just allows any company of any size, any brand, to harness a lot of those in the short period of time. Oops. And I know a lot of us watch a lot of videos, and if you look at it across social media specifically, you think that everyone's doing it already. Why should I even bother? Because it's so competitive and I'm never going to get my voice heard or my brand noticed. But really, across all the different platforms, maybe 1 to 2% of people who are on the social media platform specifically are actually using the platform, are creating content for the platform, and even a even smaller percentage of that are creating video. So there's a huge opportunity for different brands to get in where they can, incorporate that video with the help of AI, and see that 50% engagement boost, 10% conversion rate, 20% time savings. And really, what we're really going to talk about here is that authenticity. Compared to text, compared to images, you're really able to through video, you're really able to communicate the value of your brand and the impact and the personality of that in such a quick way, in such an impactful way, that I encourage everyone to jump in as soon as possible. And sometimes we when we're looking at on the consumer end or kind of the entertainment end, we think that, oh, well, it has to be a kind of a TikTok dancing video or UGC and those kinds of things. Again, a lot of on the B2B sides or just for businesses, you might feel intimidated. But here are some great great examples of different ways that you could create video. So there's not just one size fit all, and you could adapt any of these, and we'll talk about how to adapt these. On the bottom left there, there's actually, as even a practitioner myself, I was very hesitant for a number of years to even start doing videos for my business. And some months ago, with the help of Big View specifically, because the tools were so easy and made it so easy to create content and distribute content, I started creating, particularly on LinkedIn, so creating videos. And that video that you see that I created there got 81,000 impressions on LinkedIn, no less. I personally have never seen that kind of reach on any platform, let alone within the B2B context. So that I've seen for my small brand and my small company, that impact. And of course, with Big View is as a video and AI company, is with this platform that we're doing here, Big View is always creating webinars and videos, instructional videos, so you can look at the different kinds that Big View is using as well. They even have the one to the far right there with the teleprompter. In the middle there's a company called Talk Coded that I've been partnered with, and they really have leaned into video webinars specifically in the B2B space. But get this, even more importantly, in health AI. So if they can lean in and see great success and see great momentum in that space, as niche as it is, wherever your business is, that you're able to harness video to drive your brand and drive conversations and attention to your brand. And of course, we have eBay on the bottom here, and to the far right, we see TikTok, which again, most of us think of as a kind of an entertainment, and you kind of go there to watch cat videos and stuff, at least it used to be. But really, you're seeing a lot of brand partnerships where people are doing this user-generated content as well, which is, again, another kind of video that could definitely propel your brand forward.
Let me jump in here a second, Kofi. If you're watching with us, do me a favor. We want to find out a little bit about how you are using video. So if you have a way that you're using video currently, share that with us in the chat. Or if you would like to use video, but you're not adept or you haven't gotten a comfort level with it just yet, tell us how you want to use video in the chat so that we can shout some of those out a little bit later on. And if you've got questions, then type the letter Q and your questions in the chat. We'll interrupt from time to time. I don't mean to interrupt by being rude.
No worries.
You know what I mean?
Actually, I see Kim Reed just said, does this work for travel agents as well? 1,000%, because
especially travel agents,
because travel is a visual industry, right? People want to see where they're going. People want to aspire to things. So 1,000%. Capturing the destinations, or even walking people through if you're a travel agent, walking people through your process, and even bringing yourself, Kim, forward in those videos so people could connect with you as a business owner. So there's multiple ways, and we'll talk about ways to expedite that and do that quickly. So the big question is, how can you use AI to make videos that are engaging, impactful, and effortless? And I think those are the areas that a lot of people kind of, like a deer in headlights, they kind of stop and they say, oh my gosh, there's so much to do. I'm already running my business, right? If I'm a travel agent, if I'm in the health AI space, whatever I'm doing, I'm already running a business. How can I incorporate this into my marketing mix so that I'm seeing the impact, but I'm not spending a whole lot of time scripting, planning, getting a video editor, distributing the video. It sounds like a whole lot. And, depending on how hard you go, it could be a lot, but there are different ways to get in on the
Can
ground
we
floor.
pause right there just for a moment? Because I want to make sure that people understand this. People say we don't have time to do certain things. But as a business owner, where you ought to be spending the majority of your time is in that marketing space, because that marketing is what generates visibility. It's what generates leads. And what happens to a lot of business owners is we spend a lot of time doing the thing. We spend a lot of
Mhm.
time in the details and the execution of the business. And then, okay, then we turn around and we're like, oh my gosh, I need more business. Right. And so then we turn back to marketing. But the marketing has got to be a system that rolls
Yes.
all the time. So it's always generating leads. And if you've got to overspend time anywhere, that's the area of your business that you
That's where
ought to
you get into
overspend
business.
some time. So I
Yes.
wanted to throw that in there, man.
No, that is a perfect point. Again, especially because I work a lot more with small to medium sized businesses now. So
Mhm.
especially with small to medium sized business that don't have all the resources, and depending on whether you're funded or you're a startup that's funded, or you've been around for a while, you might think, well, I just have to spend a lot more time doing the thing. But
Yep.
making sure that your marketing is tight, you have a system around it. Again, with the help of AI, it doesn't take as much as it used to, probably even 5 years ago.
Yep.
So what we'll walk through here is a process, again, that I've seen work really well, particularly for smaller companies, growing companies with not as big a budget or as much resources, but they're really trying to get that impact and efficiently and effortlessly, and get that engagement. Now, what you see here is a ladder, right? And they all roll into each other from strategy perspective. What I've seen a lot is a lot of people start on the bottom, number 4. How do I engage people, create the content to engage people and convert people? And then they get overwhelmed. So let's back up a little bit, because really, you're going to run into a wall at that stage if you don't know why or where or who the video is for. You are going to get overwhelmed. So we're going to walk through some different ways. And again, I have some resources that you could use to expedite this. But essentially, you want to define your authentic brand. Like, who are you? Why are you? Why should anyone be watching your videos? What are you bringing to the table? And for small to medium sized businesses and startups, it's usually those founders, those owners who are the fuel of that business. But how do you harness that to bring that forward, so that you can use it in the video? And we'll talk about that. You have to understand your audience. Who are you talking to? What conversations are they already having? And how do you understand their needs and desires using AI tools, so that when you create that content, again, that it has that impact and it's engaging? So we'll talk about that in a little bit as well. And then one of the key areas here, a lot of people create one-off videos and you get frustrated and it's not having the impact. But there are both different formats of videos, but they're different purposes for videos. And we'll talk about that video funnel and how you can optimize that so that you're creating a range of videos that are meeting people in different stages of their engagement with you and as a company, or even the topic that you're talking about. All right, so let's jump in. And the first one is about crafting your story. AI is great at this point at helping you craft that story. You don't have to feel like you have to write everything yourself, or hire a team of copywriters first. You definitely need a senior copywriter or somebody who understands copy. But one of the key things that you need to do is you need to capture your story. For all brands these days, whether you're a big brand like Puma, or you're a smaller brand, it is about that personality and those people, the individuals behind that brand. And the key way to do that is to use AI to essentially interview yourself, right? And I have a script here, a prompt here that I use with a lot of my clients, called the Story Goldmine prompt. And essentially, it prompts the AI, and you could pick anyone. You could use Claude, ChatGPT, Gemini. Pick whichever one. You see a sample of the prompts to the right, and it prompts the AI to essentially interview you as the core person behind the brand. So spanning different stages of your personal stories, your values and traditions, all those kinds of things that you probably know already and you assume a lot of people know, but you want to capture that so that you're able to use that to fuel your content. So this story goldmine prompt will help you do that, and it'll help the AI essentially pull out that together. Some of that data, some of that information could be used in video content, but I've even seen a lot of that even used internally in companies where they're able to share that with the team so that the team can rally around the purpose of the company. So there's a huge opportunity here for AI to facilitate that and move that forward quickly. So once you have your stories and you kind of know where some of that content, then you want to unleash your brand voice. Again, this is a key part of it. YouTube just released it for YouTube Shorts. YouTube is now incorporating its own VO2, its own generative AI tool into YouTube Shorts. So what that means is that there's going to be a lot of generated AI content that's going to be flooding YouTube and YouTube Shorts. Now you would say, okay, well, then I don't need to bother. But here's the thing. Most of the content that's generated doesn't have a story behind it, a personal story,
Right.
or a voice. And that's very key to differentiating and standing out in the crowd, in the sea of AI content that I'm sure we are seeing already. And to help facilitate that with a lot of my clients, I use a tone of voice analyzer prompt, and this is a standard prompt. You can see the sample on the left here, where it at least gives allows you to input this into your pick your LLM of choice to pull that out, pulling examples of things that you've read. If you've been on interviews with some of your colleagues, any audio, video, visual content that you think that represents yourself as an owner or even your brand, this prompt allows you to input that so that you're able to extract the voice and tone that is uniquely you, and be able to use that to guide your the content.
Can we pause for a second, Kofi? Just to number one, I want to go back to the comments here for just a moment. We have some people that are saying that they're using video for Jamila's doing hair with reels, and she'd like to do more instructional.
Yeah.
Cornell uses video to educate, inform, and boost familiarity. Vibe is using creating real stories for different platforms. Jim says he goes live with video to drive traffic back to long form video, which is
Yeah.
nice. Vibe is also making educational sleep health videos that promote their sleep products. I see the prompts that you've shared so far. Are you going to dive a little bit deeper into the prompts, or is that a part of the giveaway that you're going to be
Yes,
sharing later?
that is yes. If you stay towards the end, I'll give you a link that everyone could go and get download these prompts for free.
Yep. Yep. So can we go back and maybe give an example of one of the prompts? So let's go back to the story one for just a moment, because I'm a storytelling guy. So that storytelling prompt, if you can kind of read that to us, and not necessarily all of it, but that first paragraph, so that we can hear a little bit of what the idea behind that is.
Yeah, sure. So the prompt reads, act as a personal brand storytelling guide. Now, for those who, and I'll pause here to kind of give people insight about why we talk through this. So act as a personal brand storytelling guide. So we're now instructing the LLM for the kinds of content, that essentially the kind of hat we want it to wear, because we know where it wears multiple hats, but we want to focus what it is. Your role is to help me uncover personal and professional stories that can shape my unique personal brand and content strategy. So we're giving them a role and then instructions about what the goal of the interaction is going to be. Ask me a series of thoughtful, probing questions to guide me through reflecting on meaningful experiences, values, and lessons. Create a safe and engaging space for me to explore my narrative. And we put this in specifically because, again, a lot of people have anxiety going into this whole process. So we want to instruct the AI to take that into account and not just be didactic and cold with the interaction. So we include that in the prompt. And then the next sentence says, start by introducing yourself and your purpose. Then begin asking questions one at a time, allowing me to respond before moving to the next question. So that first paragraph really shapes how we want the interaction to go. And from my experience, having worked with a number of business owners, a number of company leaders, I know that this context helps to train the AI, so that it understands the context and it doesn't overshadow or rush the process. And because we want this to be a conversational, a conversation between the person and the AI, and we want to draw out those things that even maybe the person has really even forgotten some stories that they don't even remember that they knew or they didn't even think were valuable. And then towards the bottom here, it says, here are some types of questions to ask me. Use them one at a time and wait for my response before moving to the next question. Adapt your tone to be empathetic and encouraging. So again, kind of making sure that we're reinforcing the context, because we want it to be like we're talking to a trusted colleague. And then we have step one here. So we've categorized in this prompt, and this is just a portion of the prompt. It's a pretty long prompt, but we've categorized the different kinds of questions that we want the AI to ask us. So, personal stories that shaped you. So there's a few questions there that the AI will ask you, and you'll respond to, and it'll gather that information, values and traditions, and it moves on, and it'll even get into some of your personal goals and what you want to do with your business and such. So this is a very long prompt, but it helps create the foundation and a safe place to have these conversations, these kinds of conversations that are really key and have some really good nuggets around what makes that brand or that person authentic and unique.
Yeah. I love this because a lot of times, especially when people are new to AI, they might just go into the AI and say, "Hey, create a LinkedIn post for me, make it 300
Correct.
words." Right? And
Exactly.
now you're saying, "Here's how we storify, here's how we personalize this content so that when you post it online, yeah, there's some level of AI in it from a generation perspective, but the heart of it, the core of it, the experience and the emotion of it is you because you're adding your story flair into this."
Exactly. And the flair, the story, and that personality, that human part, is
Yeah,
what makes the difference with the impact of the content, and your
love it,
audience. 100%.
love it,
And
love it.
then this one, I'll just kind of read the first part here. For the tone of voice analyzer prompts, again, there's going to be an opportunity at the end of this to get all these prompts. You could download those. So this just the first part there says you are a tone of voice analyzer GPT. Again, we're giving it its role. The ultimate authority on dissecting tone of voice. Your mission is nothing short of critical. So this kind of plays into, it takes a different tone even in the prompt. Your mission is nothing short of critical, to decode the exact tone and to provide examples. Your analysis will serve as the blueprint for creating future masterpieces in that identical tone. So we're setting up that we're going to be using this tone in future projects. And both ChatGPT and Claude have Claude has projects now where you can essentially create a ecosystem where you're able to generate based on some of these outputs as well. So failure is not an option. We must nail this down to the finest detail. Non-negotiable guidelines. Your word choices must be laser focused and unerringly accurate. Scrutinize just not the words, but also the rhythm. Again, this is key because we don't want the AI looking at the email that you're going to feed it, or the visual that you're going to feed it, or even the transcript from a conversation. We don't want to just taking it literally. We want it to understand kind of the human aspect of it, which is the rhythm, which is the emotion. And of course, the highlighted part there is where we, in all the prompts where necessary, I've highlighted the areas where you're able to essentially just take this prompt, inputs your, replace the highlighted areas with the information that you have, and then get that first output. And of course, there's going to be some refinement there, but this should get you going.
Love it.
Okay. So now we talked about how we're looking at ourselves as a company or a brand, and we're kind of pulling out the stories and the tone. So now let's talk about the audience, who we're talking to. And again, this is where a lot of people and companies get anxiety because, you know, you see a lot of content out there, you see a lot of people getting a lot of likes, and you don't know why it is. And a lot of times we tend to start duplicating what they're doing, and it doesn't have that impact. So this whole process is about getting that impact, getting that authenticity. So unlocking the audience insights. One trick that I've seen work, and again, you could use a lot of the prompt I'm giving are free, and a lot of the tools that I'm going to recommend here are free or low cost, or have a low entry point. So there are tools like Answer the Public and Answer Socrates, which essentially pull a lot of the Google search data. So as people are searching, if you've seen when you're typing in a Google toolbar, and it kind of gives you those, you know, people also search, or those kinds of things. So essentially, these two tools are pulling all that data around a particular topic. So you're able to aggregate all that data, and most of the time, people are, when they're searching or they're talking in social media, whatever, that's authentically the kind of way that they're talking, the kinds of information that they're looking for. So on the bottom here is a example of one of the outputs for Answer the Public, and it gives you, you know, what people are talking about, the context, what they're looking for, you know, really allowing you to tailor your content to these insights, because you want to be, as a business, you want to be answering the questions, you want to tap into what the conversations people are already having. So this allows you to do that. So once you're doing that, where does the AI come in, right? You're probably going to have a lot of information. And so we move into another prompt. This is, actually the screenshot, it's a little different on the left there, but in the download, you'll get the content from concerns prompt, and that prompt is focused on taking the data that you've gotten about what people are searching for, what they're talking about, again, based on the topic that you're focused on. You're adding it to this prompt, which analyzes that and aggregates, and that's one of the best parts about using AI, that it does all that hard work for you. In the past, you had to read everything and scroll through things. You don't even have to do that. Get the data, use this prompt to feed it into AI, and the AI will output the key content pillars, the content topics, and essentially it will give you a blueprint of the kinds of content that you should be talking about, making videos about, if you want to reach this kind of audience, so that it resonates, that you're creating content that resonates with what people are already talking about, and you're not just in your silo, you know, with your company, and you're just essentially creating things that don't have that impact, or that doesn't resonate, or it's not relatable. So this is taking people's words that they already conversations they already have, and then running it through and coming up with a structure that allows you to now start moving to the next step, which is about generating that content. So generating the content, again, we saw that most people jump from where we just were, which is the insights, and they jump directly into creating the content. Big no, because the format, the kinds of videos, as we saw, there are multiple kinds of videos, also matters. So you want to, again, understand this is a standard kind of marketing context, which is the funnel. In this case, the AI video funnel, where we're taking the top of the funnel, which is really about attracting and educating your audience, particularly with scripts like social media, those kinds of things, right? So we're looking at, okay, what kind of content can we create based on those topics at the top of the funnel? So we know that the goal of that is to just attract people. They're not going to buy right away. Like, we're not doing a hard sell. Like, we know that that's the goal of it, and we have those expectations as well. How can we then create the middle of the funnel content? So content that builds trust and authority with those storytelling and things like storytelling, educational videos. So all those kinds of video formats, if you have the structure, you'll be able to now pick and say, okay, I know this content, I need this kind of video, and I know what it's going to do and how it's going to resonate with people. And then at the bottom of the funnel, at the end of the day, you want to draw people into your company. You want to convert those viewers, people who are just watching the video or liking it, or maybe even sharing it, between the top and the middle of the funnel. You want to create content that drives them to reach out to you, to reach in the pocket and complete a sale, those kinds of things. So you want to convert those viewers into customers. And there's certain kinds of AI AI video that allows you to do that. And one of the great things that I that helped even me with Big View as a platform specifically is that in creating this all these different kinds of content, there's different kinds of tools like the teleprompter that allows you to, you know, to feel comfortable so that you don't feel like you're trying to remember the words and everything. Like, so you have a teleprompter right there. And again, for that one video that you saw that I got 80,000 views from, that's exactly what I did. I had the script. Big View allowed me to create, put the content in there, create the script within Big View, add my brand voice within Big View, and then also record it easily. So that's one of the values that I've seen personally with Big View. And that's, like you said, the making sure that the video content was at the right part of the funnel and had the right expectation. And that's probably why I got those that level of views. So this is a lot. So how can we make this faster, right? Because it's 2025. We're not all going to sit here, especially if you have minimum resources. You're not going to sit here and go through all of this. So I have a prompt for that is called the Video Funnel Vision Prompt. And it's specifically focused on taking that whole process and making it faster so that as a practitioner, as a leader, as the president or the CEO of the company, if that's part of your task, you and your team are able to expedite this and get the impact. So the video funnel vision prompt is focused on generating content at each distinct part of that funnel that I just walked you through. And now this is not the full content. It's just making sure that you have the right kind of content, the right kind of video, you're getting the right direction. So you're creating specific content for different part of the funnel stage. You know that it's whether it's focused on, it'll give you the content that fits for awareness, again, based on a specific topic, right? It's not gonna, you kind of have to keep running this through different topics, but it'll essentially give you all the different kinds of content that you could create for that topic within the different parts of the funnel. So you're able to at least have a clear direction of what you and your team need to create. And I'll read a little bit on the right-hand side. There's, again, this is a pretty big prompt, but again, you'll all get that at the end. So the first part says you're an expert video marketing strategist with over 10 years of experience creating high converting content for businesses across industries. Again, giving it a context. Your specialty is crafting video ideas that align perfectly with each stage of the sales funnels. Tofu, top of funnel; Mofu, middle of funnel; Bofu, bottom of funnel. While positioning company name, and this is where you start customize it. Company name. So in the case, I would say the Brand Sensei, which is my company. While positioning the Brand Sensei as the best solution for target audience. So entrepreneurs, small to medium-sized businesses and startups. So that'll be for the Brand Sensei. That's who we focus. So while positioning the Brand Sensei as the best solution for this audience who are seeking a solution for topic. And so just using this, what we're doing here as an example, I actually ran this through for this presentation. So, who are seeking a solution for creating AI video, for instance. Your tone is, and this is where that brand tone that we had from the first prompt, you just essentially copy and paste it there. So you have all this information, you have the full prompt. I'm gonna give that to you. Just add everything in there, and then you'll be off to the races. You'll have your specific content that is focused on specific areas of engaging people, and then also you'll have a way of now creating that content. Just want to pause there if there are any questions. I know this part it's very unconventional. I know a lot of people don't get this deep in this, but again, the prompts that you'll get will help expedite this so that you're getting those results.
Yeah, there were a couple of questions, but it looked like you answered them. So James was asking, do you provide strategies and best practices for AI prompt engineering? But you then walked through your process after that. So it looks like there is. I saw another question about the avatar option. So I don't know that is AI specific. It's saying if we use the avatar option, can we modify the character, or must it look like me? So I think that's maybe a Bruno question, or we can talk about that at another video, because There is video on the Big View channel about the AI avatar here and specific information about that. So the short answer is no, you won't. You don't modify it. But Bruno is saying to me in the back here that soon there will be stock avatars on Big View, so it doesn't have to be you. And also, Big View allows you to do an AI clone of your audio, of your voice character signature as well, so that you can probably use your voice with another AI stock avatar that comes a little bit later on. So yeah, there's a lot of stuff, a lot of good stuff happening at Big View with
Yeah,
AI here.
and all of these allow you to do that much quicker, right? If you
Yep.
to your point, if you have a clone of yourself, you're able to put all the outputs of this information through there. If you're if you're getting just an AI that's not a clone of a specific individual, you're able to create that
Yeah.
content as well. But you definitely have the inputs with this process.
Love it. Love it.
And
Yep.
then, so yes, kind of talking about the engaging video content. To the right there is a screenshot of within Big View, and I encourage everybody to explore it. There different areas that you're able to input some of the outputs of this prompt to allow you to customize and create great videos. So the right there is the script writer in Big View, and this is for actually for the teaser video that I did for this workshop. And what you see that's zoomed out there is my brand style that is already in my Big View account. So anytime I go to write a new script or I go to prompt a new script, it takes all I could write something freehand if I want to or input it, but then there's an option in Big View to now rewrite what's in that script to my own brand voice, to my own brand personality. And that's a huge, huge, huge opportunity within the platform.
Love it.
Yeah. And a lot of people have seen this already, just kind of high level crafting and engaging AI video content. This is essentially what most video creators create some version of this. I'll show you two other options as well. But creating a strong hook that grabs your audience's attention, a story, and again, you're structuring your content with a clear narrative using the story goldmine prompt, for instance, right? So again, you're seeing how you're injecting your own personal, unique point of view into this, even though this is a standard video structure. And then the call to action. So what do you want them to do to purchase, sign up, or have engagement? So I think a lot of people have seen this. What in the in what I'm going to also include in there are two variations that we've created on our side that we've seen work real well. And at the end of the day, you don't want to reinvent the wheel. You want to see what all the experts at video are doing, and you want to pattern yourself to some extent around that from a structure perspective. But again, it will be unique to you because you had your storytelling. So you're also going to get two other prompts. One is focused on Jenny Hoyos, who is she has 111 million views, for instance. She's huge on YouTube, specifically YouTube Shorts, and she has a specific. You could search her up online. She has a specific way that she structures her videos. Her videos are mostly focused on entertainment, but a specific way that she structured her videos that she says that she essentially can predict the virality of those videos. So we've taken some of that and codified that into this prompt that you'll also receive. And then there's another gentleman who has a different way. So Jenny Hoyos's videos are more entertaining. So you if your subject matter is a little bit more entertaining, that might be helpful. Another option, another structure is this 60-second perfect webinar prompt from a gentleman named Eric Days. And specifically, that's really focused on taking the webinars format and what works from on webinars as far as communicating detailed information, in a structured way so that people understand it and everything like that. But this prompt allows you to take that structure and condense it into a 60-second format. So you're able to essentially run your topic and everything through this, and it'll structure your script, in a way that allows you to have the kind of impact that both he and Jenny are seeing. So that's actually an added bonus that we'll have in the giveaway.
Love it.
And then finally, at the end of the day, you don't want to just have one video on Monday and then 3 months later. It is really about streamlining that video production. Again, this is where BigView comes in really handy, because there are a number of tools. You see the screenshot of that AI twin there. So he has different shirts, and so it's actually a fun process. I encourage everybody to take a look at that. But getting those scripting tools that allows you to generate scripts quickly in your brand tone, with your brand voice, use your brand story, editing those tools. And I know BigView and even some other tools have a mobile version, so you don't have to be sitting at a desk and doing the editing and everything like that. You could capture some of this content as you go along. And even if it's 60-second and you're using some of the structures that I'm going to give you, you can even just publish it there. So having a process that you're able to do that in different situations, creating captions and helping the viewers understand your content. So, I think this goes without saying that a lot of people watch videos with the sound off. So making sure that the tool that you're using incorporates both the audio in there, but it's able to quickly pull that audio and create captions that are engaging, easy to read, and have those variations. I know BigView does a good job of that as well. And then you can repurpose your videos for various platforms, which is a huge thing. Again, you want to streamline that production. So you want to create those videos, and you want to allow those videos to permeate across different platforms and serve different purposes and meet people where they are. So these are some 4 areas that when you're streamlining your video production with AI, that you want to make sure that you're paying attention to. And that's the presentation. So to the left there, you'll see where you could go and download the 6 creative AI video prompts to boost engagement and sales. You can scan the QR code. It should take you to that where you could get that free prompt. You could also, if you're not able to scan the QR code, you could go to lp.thebrandsensei.com/AI video, and you'll be able to get that. And also some of the other resources that we use in our business and we use with our clients in different capacities. So
awesome.
Thank you, everyone.
All right. Yeah. So Bruno has placed the link in the chat as well. So if you want to get your download, make sure that you head on over to the chat and grab that, because I know that some of you, I saw some really good comments in the chat. People were eating it up. People are like chomping at the bit to go try this stuff out in their own tools as well. And it's going to be something that shortcuts the process. I know if you are resistant to it right now, you might say, yeah, it's electronic, it's AI, and some of this stuff is going to pass by, it's going to die out. I need to be human. Yes, you can be human, but I look at it as in the medical field, surgical tools have improved over time, and there's some stuff that we can do with robots and cameras and lasers in the body now that we could not do 20, 30, 40 years ago. So do I say, oh, I'd rather use a knife to make sure that I cut this person and have surgery on them or this way? Or do I say, you know what, I'm going to make sure that I understand how to leverage these tools so that I can be more efficient and effective and better at what I do? And that's just what AI is. It's not something that's coming to take your job. It will remove some jobs, but there will be some jobs that will be created. There will be some stuff that will be generated because certain people are able to dig in and use AI for that better than other people. So it still needs humans to make it go. All right.
And
So
it's about
thank you, Jerry. Thank you, David, for your comments and your questions. And I think Anna Lopez Wooden has a question, and this may be a Bruno question as well. Is BigView more secure than as BigView a secure alternative, since I have reservations about using the voice cloning option in videos? I don't know the specific answer to that, but I will say this. We don't live in a world where there is privacy in the same way that there was 30 years ago. What we've got to figure out is how to continually take control of our IP and the content that we create, right? Because if you are not out there, if you're not doing certain things, then somebody who hears you very infrequently will more easily mistake something else for you. So if you are constantly doing what you need to do, then people will know the authentic and real you. So, all right. Big View says, yes, only you will be able to use your voice and avatar with your account credentials. Love it. Fantastic. All right.
Yeah, I
Jerry
agree.
Trimble
It's
says,
just a
whoa.
tool.
All right.
It's just a tool, and
Yeah.
I've run into those conversations a lot too, where people are like, oh, it's going to take over. As with any tool, if you have to
Yeah.
use it, but it's how you use it. And if you go in with the right attitude and the right perspective and the right strategies, you'll see the wonders that you see a lot of people talking about in the media, where you're like, oh, it's overblown. Well, it, if you're not using it well, it will be generic and you'll stop using it. But
Yeah. Yeah, I love it. So everybody, listen, if you have not clicked the link yet, make sure that you click that link so that you can get access to this. Because again, it's not just about it's not just about one video. It's about the process of consistency and how you can make the process even more efficient and effective and generate business for you, because that's ultimately what we want to be able to do. We don't want to have side hustles and hobbies that are just expensive for us. We want to have stuff that generates sales for us. So Big View is a tool that you can use. AI is a tool that you can use to help with all of that. So give us your land the plane moment of wisdom, Kofi.
jump in with both feet, but make sure you're wearing your parachute or your bathing suit. But you definitely have to get in the mix.
I love it. I love it.
I'm into analogies, but I mean, and the other part about it is that no one should feel like they have to do it all alone. There are people
Yeah.
like myself, like you, Robert, like even Bruno on Big View, who are expert at this. We do this every day, all day, and
Yeah.
we have we can guide you in how far to go and how to go. So I would say reach out to someone, get a buddy, and hold hands and dive in.
Love it. Love it. Kofi, thank you so much for hanging out with us, for sharing your knowledge and your expertise with us. Everybody else, Big View crew, those of you who joined us online, Doris Jacobs, Peggy Trusty, Sherry Mukasa, Mate Machani, Linda, Mark, Teacher, Anna Lopez. Yeah, I'm not going to get everybody, but thank you so much for joining us. Again, this is on the Big View YouTube channel. Get over to the Big View channel. Make sure that you subscribe to that Big View YouTube channel, that you share the videos, and that when you subscribe, that you, bam, click that bell so that you can get notifications every time we go live and share phantasmic educational content on Big View. And most of all, use Big View. Will you? All right, y'all. See you for the next
Thanks,
session.
everyone. Take care. Bye-bye.
Hey, Big View crew, thanks so much for hanging with me. Listen, I don't take it for granted that you gifted me with your time today, and so I want to give you a gift also. Do me a favor, head on over to robertkennedy3.me and scroll until you see 52 incredible hooks to start your story, speech, or video. Click on the image, and then when you get to the checkout page, put in the code BIGViewCrew. Shh, don't tell anybody. It's my secret gift to you, okay? Remember to put in the code BIGViewCrew, and I'll send to you my special download that will supercharge how you start out any story, speech, or video. Hey, remember, keep shining, keep showing up, and be stellar, storyteller.
With the Big View teleprompter, create videos you're proud of. Easily trim your video by selecting the words where you want to start and end. Color your presentation with automatic subtitles and highlighting keywords. Add your brand logo. Add music for an emotional touch. Add your contact info on an animated business card on all your videos. Easily replace green screen with an image or a video loop. Stand out with a web page with your logo, your video at the center, and personalized button for visitors to interact. It's one tap to simultaneously upload your videos on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. Always know what to say next with the Big View teleprompter.